The show, Dato. How are you today?
Good, fine, thank you.
Do share with us what is Moshpa and how it has matured and how it got started in the first place.
Okay, Moshpa is a Malaysian Occupational Safety and Health Practitioners Association. This is an association for all the safety officers throughout the country. You know, safety and health in workplace, it starts from home till the workplace. So we have safety officers, safety supervisors governing the safety at workplaces. So this association was formed for the benefits and welfare of the safety officers
who assigns on projects.
Okay, so how did you come across to found this association?
Okay, at 1994, the Act on Safety, the Malaysian Occupational Safety and Health (OSHA) Act was formed, or it was implemented in the Parliament. So when this Act came in, it was the right time where our Twin Tower came in.
Yes.
Our Twin Tower started in 1994 in Feb. So that gave me an opportunity to work as a safety officer in one of the tower, that is Tower 1.
Tower 1, okay.
Yeah.
And what an experience that would have been as well. What exactly goes in when you say workplace safety? What, especially with this particular iconic building, what are the key things that the association or its, the enforcement, what would you be looking at?
Okay, when it came to Twin Tower, it was that was a mega project. So we had about 3,500 all walks of workers, mostly of foreign workers. See, when the foreign workers come to do a project, a mega project like that on a high-rise building, it was a 82-story building.
Yeah.
So they have to really work safely. So our job as a safety officer to make sure that
safe.
Rape and then no accidents occurs. You see, if an accident, even a small accident occurs, the project site will be closed for a few days.
That's right.
So that will also become a big loss for
profits and of course loss of life.
Yes. So our job is to make sure that the site is really safe. So, and these foreign workers, they just come to do work.
That's right.
For them, is doing the work is the priority, not on safety. So we, from morning, we get these workers to get introduced on safety things. We show them what are the hazards on the site. So we make sure that the whole day the work goes on smooth without any accidents.
So you start off with a briefing, even to train them, because they come sometimes without the skills or knowledge, right? And then you look at implementing this safety to protect from any hazards from happening. What is it that could commonly happen in this sort of workplace?
Okay, when I talk about the high-rise buildings, of course, falling from the height is the main. So we have to make sure that they work very safely on height. So, you see, when we talk about safety, basically they should wear a safety helmet to protect their head. They should have a safety belt when they work on a height, and then a proper safety shoe. These are the basic things where normally the workers have to have. Second thing is their mindset. So when I say it's a safety belt, when I high-rise building, they got to hook the belt on the right place, so that even they accidentally slip, the safety belt can save their life. This is really happened. I really visually saw this when we were around 70 over the story in Twin Tower, where a worker was working, and then he was good. He was good because he had a safety belt, safety harness we call it, and he hooked to the one of the safe thing, and then he slipped. And at the moment he shouted, I ran to the place and saw him hanging.
Oh dear, thank goodness.
Hanging with the belt. Although it hurts his hips and all that, but he was saved. He was still living. Otherwise, he would have come down 70 stories. Imagine what would have happened to him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, is it, like you mentioned, mindset, the hardest part to enforce, because sometimes you can provide all this equipment, but it's not being applied.
Yes. Man is a man. So we can tell them everything, you can tell them, but they still find some shortcuts. There's another incident where I could quote, it didn't happen on my tower, but it was on the other side. So he was trying to get a shortcut. I mean, he was jumping. We call it a monkey jump. So while Because if we has engaged a safety officer, then the safety officer's job is to make sure that everything goes well without any accidents. But if he doesn't, you are a safety officer is very tempting, because since there is a shortage of safety officers, but the projects are immense, but the salary which is being given to the safety officers is big, I would say. In Malaysia, I would say if you are a safety officer, competent safety officer, your salary ranges from 10,000 to 12,000 or 15,000. Safety officer, even supervisors, we pay about 5,000.
So it's a good profession
to
consider and to get into if one was interested in that. Is it because it's high risk as well?
Yeah, has got a very high ranking in the field of OSH, because equivalent to even our foreign countries like Japan or Korea, of course they are more advanced, but then our competency and then our things looking into safety is much more greater, because as I said earlier, the competency
in the office.
Yes, as you said, I think well said, because safety starts from the home. You see? Whenever we start to live, okay, we take a vehicle, we go into the car, we put in the safety belt. There it starts.
Yes.
Then you're coming to the construction site or whatever site, about the factories. Let's say if they move things from one corner to the other corner, they have to use forklifts. So forklift, for naked eye, we just see forklift carrying things and moving.
That's right.
But then the forklift driver have to be trained to drive that forklift, because it has to turn from one corner. You must know how much weight he's carrying. If he just drives around like that, he will be knocking people.
Absolutely.
So in a factory, if you have a forklift, there is a forklift safety. So other things in a factory side, you can see the wires running around and all that. That calls the fire safety. Sometimes, as usual, I think even the house, we put in a plug, we put another plug over there, 3-pin plugs here and there. That's all is not advisable, because that will spark fire. So these safety things will start from fire safety, forklift safety, and into many
fields. The list goes on. Let's talk a little bit about the oil and gas environment, which is also something that you have a lot of experience and knowledge in.
Okay, oil and gas, we have offshore and within the other side. So offshore, when they go in, is very limited space, and then it is in the sea. So you have to be really trained in offshore to safeguard. What happens if fire starts? How you can get the people away from there? How the tugboats are taken? All these, the safety officers will be trained to get away.
Because you can anticipate it as much as you want, but when it happens, everyone needs to be on the ball. So your training, your skills, everything's got to kick in without the element of panic. So that's not an easy thing to do. So how is the training done, and how do you help them at that particular point?
Yes. If, let's say, go back to Twin Tower, we have an 88 story there, and let's say if the fire starts in the floor of 60th floor, so how the people are going to be escape?
That's right.
So the job of the safety officer is to make sure that when the fire occurs, if everybody is going to start running, then they go into chaos. But where the safety officer will tell them, train them daily, okay, you have this, you can't take the lift. If this is not told, any occupant on the building, first thing they will run to the lift to get down. But you can't take the lift. That is advice. So you have staircase. You have to be told them which are the staircase to take, how to run, where to assemble yourself.
That's
so
right. I mean, this is also something we had learned very early in life, from school into college and then into the office. The office environment, a lot of people perhaps unassumingly think that it should be a safe environment, aircon, lift, staircase, it's all safe. But all these elements, all these hazards can happen equally in a space like that.
Yes.
So a lot of training, I think, is being given by the employer as well. A lot of people sometimes find that, oh no, training again, boring subject. We know what to do, but is it really that simple?
If you train them or explain to them how you should get in case of an emergency, where you should assemble, because if they run to another place, they will get into the worst place, or if there will be a fire somewhere. So they must be told. Although accident doesn't tell you when it's going to come.
That's right. But it's better to prevent than to cure, right?
Yeah. So if they don't know what to do in case of accident or a fire, they will be in a chaos. Instead of getting escape, they will get trapped.
That's right.
So that's the safety part.
Also, I wanted to speak a little bit about your other projects that you have been involved with, namely the Prime Minister's Office as well.
Right.
Share with us some of that experience.
Right. After doing the Twin Tower, which was the tallest building at that time, and then I was given a chance to work in the Prime Minister's Office. So our priority was not to have any accidents because, you know, these are the mega projects and then the world is looking into it.
Sure.
So we were very stringent. Of course, the contractors or the person who was doing the contract, they were very stringent on safety. So we employed a lot of safety officers, and again, Prime Minister's Office was, although it's about 7 to 8 stories, but it was a mega project. Then by that time, the workers were all trained. They must have worked in some other places. They come, they know what is the safety. But then we still tell the foreigners that you have come to our country to make money, but you have to work safely.
Yes.
Otherwise, you get into trouble, and then you won't be sending money to your back home, but you'll be suffering here in hospital or what if you have accidents. So
it takes